This video, is titled Intro to the Shake Tester. This is the shake tester. You can see why it's called a shake tester. The official name is inertial balance. Sometimes I just call it the weird metal thing. Here's how you set it up. You clamp the end with no hole to a tabletop. The other end with the hole is called the tray, and you can see that moves back and forth. In this video, I'll be using some cylinders that have numbers on them, and I'll show you them. You need this information for one of the questions in the lab handout. And you can see these cylinders have numbers 200G, 100G, and 50G, and the G, of course, stands for gram, and it tells you in the lab handout what that number means. Here's how the shake tester works. It goes back and forth. And I want you to notice the difference between how the tray goes back and forth when there's no object in it, and then when I put an object in it, and this object has stuff, which is kind of the point of the lab. The object has stuff or matter in it. Look at the difference in the motion. So here it is empty with no stuff in it, and here it is with stuff in it. And I want you to think about what's different between these two motions, and how would you measure that difference? What measuring device would you need to measure that difference and describe it with a number so you get a quantity? And I kind of give it away because I have it sitting right here. Of course, you need a timer. And so you'll need some sort of timer. You can just use the stopwatch function on your cell phone. In this lab, you'll have to count how many times it goes back and forth. So you're going to learn an official scientific term, and that term is cycle. A cycle means one round trip, or in other words, there and back again, like that. That's a cycle, a complete round trip. And now I'm going to show you how to count cycles. You do not want to start when I immediately let go, because that first cycle is bad because I was touching it. So you want to let it go one or two cycles before you start counting. And then when you do start counting, you don't want to start with the number 1. It's kind of like counting how many laps someone runs around a track. When you say go, you don't immediately say 1, and then when they finish the first lap, you say 2. That's not how it works. When they start, you could either say 0 or you could say start. So I will show you, I'll do a demonstration how to count, say, 5 cycles, and I'll put a little bit more stuff in here so it's easier for you to see the motion. So I'm going to let it get moving, and then I'll show you how I would count 5 cycles. Okay, so I let it go, and then start, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Or if it helps you, you could start it and then say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how you count cycles. What I'm going to do next is for a question in the lab. I'm going to pull this tray over just half an inch, let it go through about 15 cycles so you can count 10 of them. Then I'm going to pull it over 2 inches, let it go, so you can count 10 cycles, and compare the two. In other words, the second time I'm going to pull it 4 times farther, a distance that's 4 times bigger, and I want you to see if that makes the time 4 times bigger or 4 times smaller, or if the difference in the times is very small. So first I'll pull it over just half an inch. This is for something you have to do for the lab handout, half an inch. And next I will pull it over 2 inches. That's the end of the introductory video. For the rest of the lab, you go to the video in topics that's called Lab Mass Challenge.